this content is for kids.
It's not for kids.
Isn't that what I said?
No, it's not for kids. If you are 13 years or younger, this is not for you. Do I have to kill somebody in order to actually make that point across?
No, man, you don't have to kill
Wait
no
a
one.
second.
No.
When we return to our planet, the High Court may well sentence you to torture.
He likes movies, we like movies. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. I'd buy that for $1.
Greetings! You're watching SeptumSin vs. the World. I'm SeptumSin. This is Kotobukijake.
Hey,
We're here to show you what we got.
what a haul!
And
Show me what you got. I want to see what you got. Oh boy.
indeed.
It was this week.
So we've got some stuff coming up. Just real quick, do a plug for the Versus Awards. It's going to be SeptumSin Versus Awards this time around. Hopefully someone else will take up the mantle next year. We're going to keep hoping to make this a bigger thing. We're working on trying to do a logo, though I have yet to throw anything together because I had somebody request an actual logo for it, and so I'm working on
That's a fun
that
thought.
idea. With that being said, it's going to be fun. It's going to be on the 30th of the month. I'm working on it as we speak. I'm collecting people's who want to be presenters. And hey, if you've got something going, if you're a YouTube person and you want to present an award and shout out your channel while doing it, let me know. Contact me. If you're Facebook friends with me, if you're Facebook friends with Jake, contact him. Facebook friends with our Inside Movies Galore folks, contact them. They can get a hold of me.
Actually, one of my Facebook friends the other day posted a video where he was channeling his inner Bob Ross, and that was a very impressive.
Oh, have you seen that new Bob
No,
Ross?
I want to.
It kinda-
I think I got kicked off. It's on Netflix, right?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
I think I get kicked off Netflix for non-payment. I need to go and get back on. But I have made some inroads on next year's awards. And small bit of news. Last fall, there were 2 films that I backed on Kickstarter, a little bit of money. One of them was a nominee for this year's awards. The Curve is a nominee for a documentary feature. Another documentary that I backed called Tipping the Pain Scale, I got the news today that they have officially secured a festival screening for this year. And they're looking for more, but if it makes the magic number of 3 showings this year, then we will be looking at it next year's awards. So that'll be fun.
Of course, all sorts of things. I know I've watched at least, I think, 2 or 3 shorts. One
I've seen one.
Departure, which is very interesting, has a shot. I don't think it's got a huge shot. And I saw a Disney animated one, which they put on, which they had put out around the same time as what's the newer animated film? Not Luca, but the
Raya and the Last Dragon?
Yeah, it was called like Us Again.
That's not on the release for Raya, is it?
I don't know if it is or not. They don't like to put them on anymore.
Stupid little bastards.
But it is a 2021. It is a 2021 animated short, and I'm almost 100% positive it's going to be on the Oscars shortlist.
You should have watched that one I put up. It's on YouTube and it's only 6 minutes long. But
well, it's on there. I wasn't here for that time, so a lot of my internet was spotty, so I got what I could get. But we'll go ahead and start us off.
Yep.
I've got something else. One of my controllers broke.
Oh.
For my Switch. I guess knocked it on the concrete and broke my Pro controller. That's a $75 controller that's no longer functional. So I had to get a cheaper substitute. Which is this one here, which is an 8-bit DOE controller. It's a Bluetooth wireless. It has motion sensors and all that. A lot of people online swear by this brand. And I'm a little bit skeptical, but I am willing to give it a try. I have I have actually tried it out on like one of their little streaming games, the Mario 3, I believe. But I need to play it on a real one. But you can see this is kind of has almost a Super Nintendo crossed with a PlayStation controller feel. And it's not bad though. It's kind
And this is for which game? Which system?
This goes for, can do PC, but it also can do Switch.
Huh.
So this will be the Switch. Yeah, shoot, you want to see how it feels? That's kind of.
That really does look like a. I mean, there's a couple extra buttons, but very similar to PS2/SNES. Like,
It has a good cross, but it's got a good feel in the hands.
yeah. I mean, this is what I'm used to. Like some of the newer ones, I'm like, what the hell you need all those buttons for?
But yeah, this is you got your basics, and it feels good. It plays somewhat good so far. I'm going to test it out a little bit more as time goes when I have a Switch game that I'm playing on. I had been playing on Zelda, but I kind of lost track for a while, and I forgot what I was doing, so I'm going to start over. So I'm like, I will deal with. That's what happened with Breath of the Wild. I lost track of time, and I came back with it later, and I forgot how to do everything. And I'm just like, all right, I'm just going to start over again when I feel like it. Who knows when, but I will.
Right. So, the reason why we're doing a really big pickup week, other than the fact that it's a holiday and we didn't have anything else planned for a second video, so, you know, what the hell, we might as well do a long one, is that just before we did our big anniversary video, I made a little trip out to Second and Charles. And as it turns out, they were doing the buy 5, get 5 deal. Half the time when they do that, I walk away empty-handed because it's actually kind of hard to throw together 10 things on the spur of the moment.
Yeah.
It can actually be difficult, especially if you're trying to be budget conscious. Like, I could easily do it if I was paying upwards of $20 an item, but that adds up fast. So I was going for more in the $8 to $10 range, and I think I had 3 items in the mid-teens. So, you know, it turned out all right. So, wait. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, the first one I'm going to kick off with is a movie that actually is somewhat appropriate follow-up to what you were just talking about, because it's about drone operators. So you know drones, that's kind of in the same ballpark. And it was a military thriller that was pretty good, that I was more than happy to pick up, and that's called Eye in the Sky, which features Helen Mirren and Alan Rickman. And to be perfectly honest, this probably would have been a perfectly forgettable film that I may not have moved on, except that it is Mr. Rickman's last live-action role. He was already very, very ill when he filmed this role, and I think the movie came out just after he passed. So I think he had a couple of voice credits that came out after this. Like, that seems to be the case a lot of times with her.
Yeah.
But this was it was a good performance. And it's a good movie. It's basically, it also features Barkhad Abdi of Captain Phillips fame. So essentially it is about, it takes place in Kenya, and it's basically, like I said, drone operators looking for terrorist cells and trying to take them out. And like I said, it's a good film. If you are a fan of Alan Rickman, it's worth watching, if only to see his final live action performance.
Sounds like fun.
Oh yeah, loads of fun.
So I got one game over this time, and the game was pretty I mean, I had the first 2 games. I need to get the spin-off game, but getting it physical is really hard because it's out of print. But this one is the 3rd in the series, and that is No More Heroes 3. Now, I really liked the first game back on the Wii, and I never got to play the second game because I ended up selling or getting rid of my Nintendo Wii after. So it was kind of a sad thing. I really enjoyed it. It was kind of, essentially you play this assassin, and he's kind of a nerdy assassin. He likes anime and all that stuff. And he ends up, in order to basically get in bed with a hot girl, he decides he's going to take on the 10 most powerful assassins.
Of course.
And if he beats them all, well, he gets laid.
As you do.
So that's essentially the story of the first two. And this one, aliens are taking over the planet, and you have to beat the top 10 intergalactic assassins in order to go. It's fairly bloody. For a Nintendo game, it was kind of shocking how much blood, because it has these anime spurts where you basically rip people apart with your sword, beam sword. It's a pretty fun game. I've got the first two now on the Switch. I'm going to replay the first one. Who knows, I might, well, actually I probably want to use the motion controls for that, so I probably will use the Joy-Cons, because there's a lot of shift that way, shift this way.
So
But,
basically, if Ninja Scroll made it with Scott Pilgrim, that's kind of the
in a way that's how it would go. And I've seen some gameplay elements from this, and it is great. I do love the work that the studio does. It is just insane what they do. So it's kind of fun.
Good times.
I got a couple of their games. They did Lollipop Chainsaw as well, about the cheerleader that kills zombies with a chainsaw. They have one about the guy who has the talking devil gun. There's also Killer 7. A lot of strange games.
I remember that Lollipop Chainsaw one. That was interesting. Okay, my next one is also kind of strange, but this was because this was a film, if I remember correctly, I think it was one of the first films that was like truly filmed in HD. Like it was filmed using high def cameras. And it's a very intriguing film, very good film, but it can be a little off-putting visually if you're not used to that. And that is an Ang Lee film, a little war drama called Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk.
Interesting.
Which featured Kristen Stewart, Chris Tucker, Vin Diesel, and Steve Martin. How's that for a cast? Along with Garrett Hedlund, Joe Alwyn. I want to say... No, I don't think it's based on real events, but it's based on a novel. But this is actually a full-on dramatic performance from Steve Martin, and he does a fine job in the film. Overall, it is a very good film, and if you want to see creative and damn near visionary use of camera work, like the cinematography in this is stunning, but it is a weird look. It's very hard to get your head around until you're used to it, you know what I mean? It probably would look better on your high-def TV than it would on an average TV, but and this of course is the Blu-ray version. I imagine the 4K would be even more intriguing. But I'm a huge fan of Ang Lee, and I've been very lax about trying to get all of his films, so this was one I needed to get. Unfortunately, the case is a little busted, but sometimes that happens when you buy your used stuff, but whatever.
And depending on how attached you are to the original cases, you can get replacement Blu-ray cases. Shoot, a lot of these, a lot of the Blockbuster buys I got have that.
Yeah, a simple case like that is easy to fix. I may end up doing that, but yeah.
So I got this a while back on a sale. I can't remember what sale, but it was a sale. And it was one that was huge back in the time it was running. It ran pretty high as far as people's opinions on it. It's a series that a lot of people actually talked about a lot. And I had debated strongly on whether to get it or not. And I eventually said, yeah, I can't really turn it down for the price. And that was Yuri on Ice. At its time, when it was well, at its best.
Oh, people love that show.
This thing actually had a huge following. I don't know. It's about this ice skater, and his training under. Actually, there's a little bit of a different cover outlet on the from the slipcover, and he hooks up with this other trainer who used to be a big professional ice skater, who kind of helps him get through. And there's sort of a relationship between the two men, but it's more hinted at, I think.
No bromance gets going there.
So it's also kind of funny when you think about it. It's not really Yuri; it's more Yaoi.
I know, but I think
Yuri is the name of the guy.
Yes. I think it's the more experienced of the two is the Yuri, right?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah. So
it's just I've been wanting to get it for a while. I'm glad I got it in the collection. It's one that I think should be in a collection. From everything I've heard, it's got so much of a reputation. But I'll have to see it first.
Same here. I have a copy.
I have to get an excuse.
Yeah, we have so much stuff we need to watch. Did you intentionally follow Ang Lee with that? No. But anyway, next up is another film from a very, very skilled director who I'm a big fan of. And this is a director who likes to swing for the fences. And you never know where in the flippin' hell he's going to come at you next. You know, he could be doing a straight-up zombie flick with 28 Days Later, or a film about addiction with Trainspotting, or he could be doing a family film with Millions. Or, you know, he could be doing this one, a biopic about one of the most influential and supposedly biggest tools of his time ever to live, which is the movie Steve Jobs by Danny Boyle, written by Aaron Sorkin, who's nominated for Screenplay and ARM Awards this year. This had a phenomenal pedigree, not just Boyle and Sorkin. Michael Fassbender in the lead eponymous role of Steve Jobs. Jeff Daniels, Seth Rogen, Kate Winslet. I mean, this is a pretty solid pedigree. It's a very well-made film, but it's a very weird film. It basically, the structure is untraditional, to say the least. It kind of is modeled around, I think it's three major product launches that Jobs was involved with, and the film kind of centers in on these three different launches. And did you ever see that?
No, but I do know it came out in a year where there were two of them, weren't there? There were two.
I think so.
Because there was one called Jobs.
Well, there was the one with Ashton Kutcher, Jobs, that I think came out a few months, but it didn't get as much love.
It was around the same time, though.
It didn't get as much love. This one, in the end, only got a couple of Oscar nods. I think it was for Fassbender and Winslet. But and Winslet does she is an awesome actress anyway, but they both do a great job in these roles. Not an easy watch, but one that I needed to have in the collection, and glad I finally got it.
All right. So this next one was one I had picked up from Movie One, and if you haven't checked out his channel, you should. He does what we do, but probably better. But in any case, he does it, and he advertises his eBay channel below. And I occasionally pick up some stuff from that. And this one was interesting. It was a version of this from an actor I didn't actually know about, which was Wuthering Heights. This is interesting because I am not familiar with the Patty Duke version.
No.
And you got Rosemary Harris, Denham Elliott.
Oh, it's a TV version. Oh, Denham Elliott's in there?
Yep.
Oh, that's
like I say, it just the pedigree it just had me go, okay. maybe I should check this out.
Yeah.
It looked interesting. He didn't charge much for it. I was like, okay, well, put that on the cart. Let's
Cool.
see how that is. You don't see this around a lot either, so
No.
it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I need to get more familiar with that story overall. Like, I feel like I read it, but I can't say with certainty that I did. And I've never seen a filmed version, so I need to do that. Well, at least, I say that, but I'm not certain. Because you might have seen it back in the day, when it was on TV and you just didn't realize it. Okay, one that was quite delightful. I thought this was a fun film, and I don't know why it did not do better. I felt really bad when this film came out that it didn't do better because it deserved to do better. And that was Steven Spielberg's take on Roald Dahl with his film The BFG, which was a really, really fun little movie. Mark Rylance, of course, in the role of the...
Okay, yeah.
What's that?
I was looking at the title abbreviation, even though
Oh, yeah.
I used to make the joke about
Oh, yeah.
VFG.
You could come up with all kind of jokes for that. But of course, you got, I believe it's Ruby Barnhill who plays the young girl. Like I said, Rylance plays the giant. You got Penelope Wilton, Jamon Clement, Rebecca Hall, Rafe Spall, Bill Hader. I mean, that's a pretty good cast overall. Directed by Spielberg, based on the book by Roald Dahl. I really don't know. And it's a gorgeous... The visual effects in this were stunning. I really don't know why this film just basically bombed. I mean, it was one of the biggest bombs in Spielberg's career, and I don't know why, because it's not a bad film. But it was one that I kind of drug my feet about adding to the collection, but I finally did, so... Very good. Actually, having just watched a Roald Dahl film again, it kind of seems like timely.
So, I had these two films on DVD for a while. They were Criterion, but they were in poor shape because I got them cheap. And they normally ship together. So, on the Criterion sale, I said, you know what, I'm finally going to upgrade to Blu-ray.
Okay.
And they're not going to be tore up. And they're going to be together.
Okay.
And we're talking the Criterion version of Yojimbo and Sanchiro.
Oh, nice.
Which, the Blu-ray version. And it's really not much more than was on the DVD version separately, but it looks so much better than the ones I had. I sold the ones I had. I sold or gave away the ones I had, and they were rough. So I actually do like having them together like this. I think they look good. They deserve to be together. So it's just a really awesome set. I've been eyeing this for a long time, and I'm kind of glad to get it. I mean, this is one of Kurosawa, I believe. One of his better pieces. I mean, a fistful of dollars, few dollars more, essentially.
Well, yeah, A Fistful of Dollars is a shot-for-shot remake of Yojimbo. I mean, I do not exaggerate. It's a shot-for-shot remake.
So, it's just kind of cool. And that's how cowboy movies and samurai movies work, is they are very similar. And you can do it, and it pulls off. That's how Seven Samurai got ripped off for Seven...
Magnificent Seven.
Magnificent Seven, yeah. So, again...
And then that one has been cannibalizing itself over the years.
Yes, it has. Actually, Kurosawa has been cannibalized a lot for a lot of his stuff. He has taken from stuff also in the past.
Right.
So I mean,
several of his films were Shakespeare adaptations.
Yes.
So yeah.
So I mean, that's part of how art is. So it's kind of odd how it is. You probably wouldn't have some of your favorite westerns without stuff like this.
Yep. The now imagine if he had made a samurai rendition of the BFG, or Willy Wonka. Okay, but I do have the old school DVD separate releases of those two films, and it is time for an upgrade.
It is.
But that's a good lead in, because my next two are, okay, we have complained many times on this channel about how snooty Criterion is when it comes to animation, and they currently have 2 properly animated films in their collection. And that's pathetic. We're holding out the hope that Isle of Dogs will get a Criterion release just because they absolutely love Wes Anderson. But if there was another film that had a good shot, a solid, legit shot at getting the Criterion treatment, it would be my next one. And this is a film that I had mixed feelings about it when I saw it, and I recently saw the new film by this writer-director, and I'm reading a book by him, and between all of that, I'm about Charlie Kaufman out. But this is an essential film for the collection, and seriously, I could absolutely see Criterion releasing Anomalisa at some point. If they don't, I'd actually be shocked.
Yeah.
But Anomalisa is a strange film. It actually was nominated for the Oscar for Animated Feature, and it's essentially a stop-motion film with puppets, I believe, where David Thewlis plays a traveling businessman on a conference, I think, or some such thing, and he meets a woman, and up until then, every single role is voiced by the same person. Until he meets the woman, who is voiced by Jennifer Jason Leigh. And I believe is it Tom Noonan who plays all the other parts? I guess it is. You got music by Carter Burwell, again, written and directed by Charlie Kaufman. Whatever you may accuse Kaufman of, you cannot deny one thing. He is original. He is that.
Yeah, that is true.
And this film is an original film. And it was very interesting, but I can't say I loved it. But I am glad to have it. I will upgrade it eventually when Criterion does put it out. But in the meantime, that's actually got a few special features on it. So
Yeah, that's not so bad there.
yeah, so it's not bad. Glad to finally have that one.
So, one of these, which I came very close to opening for next month, but we changed up things at the last minute. This was a set that I needed to upgrade a long time ago. And that is Indiana Jones, the 4-movie collection. Now, this is the 4 Steelbook Best Buy exclusive. I had thought about just upgrading this to the 4K for a while, and then, even though I was told it was sold out, I walked around and I found somebody had hidden one.
Oh.
I was like, okay, well, obviously, it's mine now. Sorry.
Mine?
And I managed to get, so this will give me all 4 films in 4K, and that's going to look very stunning. I probably would have kept them, I would have kept the ones I had if it was Blu-ray, but because they were all DVD, and the first 3 were in a full frame collection, yeah, that doesn't look as good on my TV. These, however, will look spectacular, and I am very much looking forward to it. I'm sure we are going to come back to Indiana Jones with Temple of Doom in the future, and I'm going to be ready when that happens. It's just going to be like spectacular. Of course, it's white, so it's screwing with the lights, but still, very cool.
It's a cool looking set, but my Blu-ray set looks cooler and it's less than half the size.
Well, that's what I said. You know, it's if I had the Blu-ray, it would be different. If you had basically a half size of the set that was full frame, you probably wouldn't upgrade.
I did have that really nice DVD set that came out of the first 3, and then I had Crystal separately. But I actually inherited the Blu-ray from my father, and so that made it easy to upgrade. Yeah, that's kind of I had the nice looking one. they did have a nice looking DVD set. So the other animated feature I picked up, I actually picked up 2 Oscar-nominated animated films that I really was interested in. They were both stop motion, strangely enough. And this one, I think, has an outside chance at a Criterion release, but I think Anomalisa has a much better chance. But this was a film that I loved the title, and I actually enjoyed the film more than I really expected to. And that's a weird-ass little movie called My Life as a Zucchini. Which was, wasn't this a Swedish film?
I was curious about that. I've been curious since it got the Oscar
Oh,
nomination.
you haven't seen it yet?
Nope.
Oh, yeah, it's quite good. It's a, I want to say it's a Swedish film originally, but...
It was so hard to see when we were
French.
trying to watch it.
Maybe it's French. Okay, well... they have French language options, so we'll go with that. But it's a film that has a pretty solid English cast. Will Forte, Nick Offerman, the former Ellen Page. I can't read that other one. Amy Sedaris, I think, is the other one. Anyway, but it's... I cannot honestly fully remember what this is about.
I love the stop motion animation.
Right. The main character is actually called Zucchini, which that's a unfortunate name for a child. But they go to he's taken to a foster home.
It's unfortunate what they do with that sticker.
Right. But basically, it's basically about a bunch of orphans and their experiences and what have you. It kind of has sort of a Tim Burton-y feel with the visuals there, although it's not quite as stylish as your typical Burton film. But like I said, this was a good one, and I was very surprised they had it. And it's actually a G-Kids release. It's always fun finding those on sale.
I need to go to Big Lots because I got a Big Lots sticker on there.
I see
for $5
that, yeah.
I'd pick that up.
Yeah, I would have.
So
Hell, that's probably... Yeah, the second and Charles price was $5.50.
yeah. So this one I had on DVD, but I had gone and got one to get both the first and second film. Even though I heard the second film was kind of crap, the first film was a classic. Also one that should get a 4K release if cleaned up properly. It's the Don Bluth, I believe, classic Secret of Nim. But this is 1 and 2. I've heard 2, like I say, is really bad. Timmy to the rescue.
Timmy!
But the first one is a masterpiece of animation. To me, it rivals anything that Disney put out hand-drawn. To this day, it is a classic.
Well, for about 20 years there, Don Bluth was producing some really awesome films.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, this... actually, I got most of the ones that he did that were there. I mean, you had All Dogs Go to Heaven, you had American Tail, and even some of the sequels like
Anastasia.
A lot of that stuff rivaled Disney, and I think that also there was one documentary I watched where they said it got Disney on their feet because they felt threatened.
Yeah, it's also one of the so it may have helped lead to the Disney Renaissance. They were very good.
Yeah,
and of course Don Bluth. You know the influence of the film because they obviously were among the targets spoofed or shamelessly ripped off by Titanic: The Legend Goes On.
Yes. But of course with this, you have a mouse who has her family that lives in the field, and the plow is going to come in and upend it. Well, that's a bad thing for the mice, and unfortunately her son, Timmy, is stricken with pneumonia, which of course today we think of side effects of pneumonia for a different reason, but so she has to go and get it cured, but she has to buy time, and the only people that can help her either move her place or do something to help her save her son are these rats, and it's just so happened that her husband was one of the few mice involved in the project of this weird experimental project for intellect enhancing. And it is really neat. The animation is spectacular, and if you haven't seen it, you really should. If you like animation at all, it's well worth your time.
Excellent. And it is incredibly sad that I cannot swear to it that I've ever seen that movie. So we do need to go. Now, one that's probably a little less sad that I haven't seen it yet. Strangely enough, I had an opportunity with this pickup to pick up a movie that will be eligible for our Versus Awards next year.
Woo!
It's a 2021 release that they had stickered at, I think, $5. So that tell you something about the probable quality there. And it's a film that, honestly, the first time I saw the trailer for it, I kind of did this. But, you know, I figure worst comes to worst, it's a free pickup because buy 5, get 5. And it might force this one to watch something that he would rather not watch, which is amusing. But if nothing else, and you got to agree with me on this, this is a contender for best poster or cover design. It's a film co-starring Kristen Wiig called Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar.
It does have me at a vague curiosity because it looks so terrible.
Right. But I mean, that is a great poster. I
probably would have picked it up for the $5 that it was up for.
And Annie Mumolo is her co-star in this. But from what I understand, it's basically just a couple of old friends who are basically Midwestern housewives who are bored and go on vacation. And, you know, I think it's co-written by Kristen Wiig. It's written by both of them. Mumolo and Wiig co-wrote it. Damon Wayans Jr. is in there, and so is Jamie Dornan. You know, for whatever that's worth. Like I said, it could be, I don't know, but it could be fun.
Yeah.
And if nothing else, it will likely be a contender next year in that one category.
It could have been a contender. If you nominate that, it'll be interesting. I'll admit, for the poster design, it may get, because it does draw the eye. It makes me curious. So, like, if they had just shown, like, a close-up of their faces, I probably would have been like, no.
But that giant shrimp.
The weird... everything on that is just odd. So, something else that involves marine life is an upgrade I did to a movie that deserves the upgrade. Big time. I wasn't going to do it, but I found a copy for a very cheap price on a Black Friday sale. I think it was a Black Friday sale. But for less than $5, I couldn't turn it down. And that is the 4K version of Jaws.
Oh.
I mean, you know, I'm not sure whether this was at the 4K. Dustin tells me that they did clear this up and that it is a cleaned up version of Jaws enough that 4K matters. So I will go with that. And for $5, I was willing to make the upgrade from... I think I had it on DVD. So it was another one that I probably, if I'd had it on Blu-ray, would have just skipped, even for $5. But for DVD to 4K, not a bad thing. And it's got the Blu-ray with it, so hey. And it's got some good special features, some makings of, and all that. And of course, as you might know, Jaws is a story about a shark who, you know, shark is just wandering around doing shark things, eating people, you know how it is. And then these people, they don't like the shark.
Yeah.
And they try and hurt the shark.
It's getting in the way of their holiday plans.
See, so Jaws sits there and says, okay, well, I'm going to defend my home against these evil predators. And though they needed a new ship, Jaws may have met his match in some wily old evil characters. But will our hero survive? You'll have to check it out for the original classic, Jaws.
Right. Now, that's a franchise that has lain dormant for a long time. So, I guess maybe eventually, though, we might see Jaws 5, Spring Break at Vista Del Mar.
Well, I have the other 3 films on a 3-film DVD collection, which I've also shown here, which is kind of cool to have them in like a compact.
I read something the other day that I never realized that I thought was kind of cool. The Hellfire Club, created, I believe, by John Byrne and Chris Claremont, if I remember correctly, are modeled on actors and TV shows from the 60s and 70s. And Sebastian Shaw apparently was modeled on Robert Shaw.
Oh, well, see, there you go.
I can see the resemblance now that I know this, And like Donald Pierce was based on Donald Sutherland, apparently, It's like, and the White Queen owes her outfit to Emma Peel from the Avengers.
Oh, she was a very popular individual back in those days.
Yes. So, and also the name Emma. But anyway, so my next one is an anime that I know a little bit by reputation, that I think may have been pushing more expensive than it really needed to be, but it is brand new and unopened, and it was one I didn't have, and I figured, what the hell, I'll throw it into the bunch. And that is a show called Early Rains.
Oh, yeah.
Not a fan, I see.
No, not a fan at all.
But it's basically a Western, or supposedly an attempt at a Western at least. And, how many episodes?
It's not a long, it's like one of the short ones.
It's like an OVA, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like just a few episodes. But, whatever the case, I figured, what the hell, go ahead and grab it. Like I said, it's brand new and unopened, so, you could do worse.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you could. I don't think I have that one in my collection anymore, and I don't think I care. So
just watch in a year or so. Dave's gonna put that forward for our anime discussion. Hell, I might.
So this one here is a upgrade. And I had it on DVD, but my copy was kind of ratty because it was out of print, but I wanted to complete it. And that was Zatoichi Darkness is His Ally.
Oh.
They finally re-released this on Blu-ray, which is great because I have all the other Zatoichi films on Blu-ray. Now all you do is release the series on Blu-ray, and you'll have everything on Blu-ray.
Ah.
But this was the last film that he made. It was 1989, I want to say. I think it was the last film he made as Zatoichi. Yep, 89. And this is the only one that's this is the 26th of the film. 26th film. The only one not on the Zatoichi Criterion Collection.
Okay.
I cannot remember what it was about, but of course Zatoichi's a blind swordsman, works as a masseuse, and likes to gamble. This guy, I think he died recently, wasn't it? Katsu died recently?
Who did?
Is it Shintaro Katsu? Is that right?
I don't remember.
Yes, Shintaro Katsu. I want to say he died recently, but I could be wrong. Maybe you're still alive. Who knows? But I want to say he did die not too long ago. He is a... I'll look it up while he's on his other one. But this one... I mean, necessity if you're completing a Zatoichi collection.
Do you know why that wasn't on the Criterion?
I don't know why they never include this one on the main films.
Probably a different studio.
It might be a different studio that did it. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Because this is Tokyo Shock, so TSBD. I don't know who did it. Media Blasters was distributing. I don't know. Hard to say. But kind of cool to have it.
Media Blasters had some random releases.
They did. But I'm glad to see that it's got a Blu-ray.
Yeah. Right. So, my next one is a release from Viz Media. And Honestly, I think it's my first volume of the series, even though it's volume 4. But with this, you pretty much have to just grab deals when you see them because you don't see them very often. And this show will get damn pricey if I pay full price for each volume. So I had an opportunity to get volume 4 cheap, so I went ahead and got volume 4 of Boruto.
Very good.
So this is episodes 40 to 52. And yeah, so I'm finally getting started on this little series. It'll be nice one day to actually get through Shippuden and to watch this afterwards, and one day.
Let's see, I've got some Boruto up there.
You do?
I wanted to say I had up to 9 volumes maybe.
Oh, that far?
But I can count that up on the break there. But Katsu died in 97.
That's not that recent.
So yeah, not that
I see
long
5
ago.
up there.
Maybe it's hard to say.
Yeah, I only see 5 up there. Oh, you have a couple tipped over though.
Yeah, I think.
Oh,
it's
that's right.
7.
They stopped numbering.
Yeah,
it, didn't they?
5, 6, 7, 8. No,
Okay.
8 volumes.
Because they stopped numbering.
They stopped numbering them
That's
because they're
kinda silly.
assholes.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, that's
They
kind
wanted
of
to make it very
It's kind of an asshole thing to do.
confusing for me.
It is.
But the last one is an anime itself,
No.
and one I got in a Sentai sale a while back,
Mm-hmm.
and that is Needless.
Nice.
This looks like an interesting series, if anything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it's about. So let's see what it says. Satisfy your need for anime action comedy with the complete Needless collection. The year is 2130. The world has been decimated by a devastating Third World War, making the planet a dangerous apocalyptic hellhole. It already isn't? There is, however, one hope. Adam Blade, a fake priest with big fists and a nasty disposition. Still, he's the closest thing to the world's got to a superhero. But like any superhero, he's got a weakness. Though in Adam's case, it isn't kryptonite, it's cuties in sexy little outfits. Usually of the schoolgirl variety. Yeah, so...
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that we can get what the series is mainly about right by the cover.
Right.
I wasn't going to get this for a lot of money, but when this collection came up really cheap, I was like, okay.
It did hold its price for a while.
You know, I had it for like a cart topper.
Yeah. Nice.
All right.
My last one, I'm going to go out with a little bit of a bang. This was one of the reasons why I moved forward on the purchase, because they had it. They rarely have this, and it's one I needed to get. There is a very, 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 very good show that aired for a while, for 5 seasons, as a matter of fact, on HBO. And I watched 4 seasons, but I never watched the 5th one because I didn't have it. And now it's been I think 5 years since I saw season 4. But I finally have season 5 of Boardwalk Empire.
Oh, yeah.
The Steve Buscemi starer about Prohibition era New Jersey, the Boardwalk region. He plays Nucky Thompson, a local magistrate, tax collector or whatever, who ends up becoming a major bootlegger and a big thorn in the side of the feds. You've also got Stephen Graham as Al Capone, a very fun supporting role there. And you got a phenomenal supporting cast of just very, very, very high level of talent. The film is, the series, it feels like a film, is produced by Marty Scorsese and, what's his face? Mark... Oh, wow. Marky Mark, that guy. That's pretty bad. But anyway, But this is just a really damn good show, and Kelly MacDonald, of course, plays Thompson's wife, and she is one of my favorite actresses. She does a great job. I really do want to finish this series off. At this point, I might go back to the beginning and watch the whole thing again, but it's going to take a while. But really good, and I'm glad to finally have all of it.
Yeah, I'm debating it. I have somebody that I know that's selling the full Blu-ray collection for $45.
Well, you can get a full set now, and that's nice.
So I'm debated it because that's one I've wanted to get, but not in piecemeal. So with that being said, I hope you've enjoyed this pickup.
Yeah.
What are your favorite pickups of the week? Let us know in the comments down below. But of course, like, subscribe, and share. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
All right.
What do you think of movie award shows?
Yet again, my favorite French director got snubbed.
Yeah, I mean, they don't even nominate full moon films. It's a goddamn travesty.
A film like the House on Haunted Hill, or The Killer Clowns from Outer Space, or even the greatest film in all the world, Buddy the Killer Thing. I mean, god damn it! Where can I find an award show that will do exactly what I want it to do?
You tried the rest. Now try the Versus Awards. Here we have hundreds and hundreds of movies that we look for every day, every hour, all throughout the internet, with voices being heard here, there, and everywhere. Join us on September 30th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on SeptumSin versus the World. Help us make a movie history. Classic.